We are on our way to Arlington for the state games. We are on our way to have 3,500 athletes with intellectual disabilities show the world that Texans, especially Texans, can. And this is the beginning of that run. Special Olympics Texas was formed in 1969, right up the street in Waco. And we now have over 40,733 athletes, supported by 47,000 events volunteers. And we are now going to be talking about sending 37 athletes to Greece in June from Texas. To start this off, I'd like to talk about the gentleman I'm about to introduce. You know, a lot of times people who have not-for-profits have a board. They are certainly my boss. But our board is what I call a working board. It is a board that is involved with the lives of people with Special Olympics, and they are involved with every aspect of what happens in this organization. And the chairman of the board is named Steve Hayes. Steve Hayes comes to us from South Lake. He has served on the board now over 4 years, and I'd like you to give your attention to Steve Hayes.
Thank you, Margaret. On behalf of the board, I'd really like to thank the Torch Runners for their tremendous year-round efforts to raise awareness and funds for Special Olympics Texas. These guys just aren't out here today. They support us 365 days a year through fundraising efforts, through different events they support, and just by their presence at our different events that we have during the year. Last year alone, these law enforcement officers raised over $830,000 for Special Olympics Texas. And this year they have a goal to raise $1.1 million for our athletes and to support our group. There's over 1,000 law enforcement officers throughout the state who participate in Torch Run to support Special Olympics Texas. We have a couple of those gentlemen here with us today that I'm going to introduce. I'd like to introduce our state Torch Run state director and fellow board member, Chief Art Acevedo, and one of our biggest supporters, Sheriff Greg Hamilton, are going to come up and talk to you right now.
Well, good morning. Last year we did Hans and Franz, so this year we're just going to do Jekyll and Hyde. How's that? Listen, this is the day of the year and the month of the year that I look forward to every year, because it's an opportunity for police officers to come together with the community and recharge our batteries. There's nothing that I love more than going out to the Olympics, to the Special Olympics with some very special and talented people, and really doing nothing but feeling that pure love. That love for humanity, the love for each other. And you know, people sometimes will question, hey Chief, hey Sheriff, why do you use the time of your department to be involved in Special Olympics? And it's really simple. The reason police chiefs and sheriffs around the country, and police officers, deputies, constables, state troopers support the Special Olympics, it's because it's part of our organizational wellness. It's part of us recharging our batteries, and it's a part of us reminding ourselves about being human and humanity and caring for all of God's children. So I'm excited. This year we're sending 20 of our officers up to Arlington to really rock and roll. Right? Are we going to rock and roll? And I personally, as a statewide director, want to thank our governor, who's here year in and year out, leading by example. Thank you, Governor. We salute you. Now here comes, are you Jekyll or Heckle? Which one are you?
I'm Greg Hamilton, bro. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Special Olympics for having us here. I know that the chief just a minute ago said that they're sending 20 people. I'm sending 1,000. Yeah. Anything he does, I can do better. But seriously, I would like to say that Travis County Sheriff's Office is excited about being a part of this. Matter of fact, myself and the chief will be there in Arlington to help kick off these ceremonies. Anytime that we have an opportunity to work with the youth and individuals in Special Olympics, we jump on that. And we're excited, and I'm looking forward to being in Arlington and being there with Dr. Jekyll. Thank you all for having us here. We appreciate it.
All right, let's give it up to the best sheriff in Travis County, Sheriff Greg Hamilton. And I actually voted for the man, I'm happy to say. All right, now, like I said, this is all about family. It's all about really getting together and having fun and really recharging ourselves. And now I want to introduce our own family, the Brennan brothers. Come on up, guys.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I am honored to speak to you today about a very important part of my life. Special Olympics, Texas. I would like to share with you why I think Special Olympics, Texas is so awesome. I am a proud member of the Rock Roadrunners team. Since Special Olympics is a year-round sports program, I need to train and compete 12 months out of the year. This keeps my body healthy and strong.
Yeah.
Also, it is a lot of fun to get to play and learn skills for many different sports. And all the uniforms are really cool. Special Olympics makes me feel like a winner. I feel like the big man on campus, just like the quarterback and all the other athletes at my school. I especially look like a champ when I wear my leather jacket, which was presented to me by my coach, James Sarton. I have over 70 medals, but my favorites are the ones I earned at national games last summer in Lincoln, Nebraska. I now have a gold medal for the 50-meter butterfly, just like Michael Phelps. The Texas team got to fly on an airplane and stay in the dorms at the University of Nebraska. It was like being in college, but better because I didn't have to study. Also, I had a blast meeting athletes from other states. I have so many friends because of Special Olympics, Texas. Finally, Special Olympics, Texas has given me the privilege to speak to you today as a global messenger. My speech coach and I went to 3 days of intense training. This training has given me self-confidence in every part of my life. I enjoy being a global messenger and telling people how important Special Olympics, Texas is to me and my family. Especially on an occasion like today, when I can send a message to all law enforcement officers. You are important to Special Olympics, Texas. I speak for all the athletes when I say thank you for your hard work. Special Olympics, Texas keeps growing and keeps getting better because of all the money you have raised for our program. Your support to me and all my fellow athletes is the reason Special Olympics Texas rocks. I would now like to turn the microphone over to John. He is not just another brave officer in uniform, but is also my brother.
Thank you, Brennan. Let's hear it for Brennan. Hey, Brennan. All right, thank you, Brennan. The law enforcement torch run is truly an extraordinary vehicle, not only to bring awareness to Special Olympics Texas, but to also honor and thank the thousands of men and women law enforcement officers all over this great state of Texas. I would like to join Brennan today in expressing my gratitude and appreciation for all of your interest, time, commitment, and all-around support in your fundraising efforts and monetary contributions which make this event such a success. Together, we all make a difference in helping to improve the quality of Special Olympics Texas and the lives of our athletes. As Brennan's older brother, I've had the privilege to see some of the rewards firsthand, which include sending some of the athletes to competitions, all of the gold, silver, and bronze medals that are taken home, all of the uniforms, and attending the national games. With your continued support and participation, all of the wishes and dreams of our athletes will be fulfilled. Growing up with Brennan, there was a countless number of memories that were made, but one memory in particular has always stood out to me. That was that Brennan always had a fascination with law enforcement officers. No matter where our family went, whether it was a sporting event, restaurant, or even a vacation, Brennan would always seem to gravitate towards the men and women in uniform. Brennan would always ask officers every question imaginable, and every time the officers were patient and took the time to speak with him. When I saw the excitement that Brennan had when speaking with an officer of the law, it really shined a bright light on me and had me wanting to pursue this rewarding career in law enforcement. I can say that Brennan played a vital role in my decision, goal, and excitement to become an officer with the Austin Police Department. This morning, I would especially like to speak to the young officers and really encourage you to get involved. Just as I was influenced as a teenager, this is your opportunity to be a role model and mentor for many eager athletes. One of my most gratifying and fulfilling services to our citizens has been to embrace Special Olympics Texas and its brave and awesome athletes. As an officer and brother, I am proud to be a partner with Special Olympics Texas and present here today to watch the Flame of Hope start its journey down Congress Avenue. Special Olympics Texas has changed not only Brennan's life, but mine as well, and I guarantee you it can change yours as well. Thank you.
All right, now let's give it up for two special guys, Brennan and John O'Donnell. Let's give them a big hand. And little did you all know that our athletes are also recruiters for the Austin Police Department. Thanks, Brennan.
The rule is to never speak after an athlete. Can you see the potential in lives? Can you see the potential for people with Special Olympics, our athletes, people with intellectual disabilities? These gentlemen are just two brothers who participate with Special Olympics. The next person I'm going to introduce is, I always call him a friend of the athletes. And I only call people a friend of our athletes very, very rarely. Our governor, Governor Perry, has been everywhere and every time our athletes in Texas have needed us. We've needed him. And you don't see that. You don't see the love and the support that is given to us by our governor. You may see it occasionally, but many times it's late at night or it's early in the morning and there's a call of a need of some kind. And that's what I'm talking about. Our governor, Governor Perry, is certainly a friend of our athletes. Sir.
Margaret, thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be out here again. John, thank you for your service, and Brennan, thank you for taking care of your brother. giving him a little career advice. That's always good. And Chief, I want to say to you, thank you for being really diversified over in the department and hiring some Aggies.
All right.
So that's kind of.
I keep the staff in there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Y'all are very diversified over there, and we appreciate that. Nearly a quarter of a century now this has been going on, Margaret. So since '95, I think, was when we kicked this thing off, and members of the law enforcement community all across the country have been engaged in this, and it's. I don't know if there is a better marriage that I've seen in my years of public service than men and women in law enforcement and our young Special Olympians. Just every year there are individuals who just selflessly give of themselves, their time. They volunteer their free time to just put, in this case, one foot in front of another to participate and support our Special Olympics, and they make the difference. And I just, Margaret, my engagement is because, number one, I love these kids and what they're all about, but it's also this is one of the most successful events that I think that we participate in. I have a run here that I've helped with through the years, and it's been going on for about 10 years. This one is really mature. People all across the state are involved, and the fact is, it's just a cause that's worth celebrating. I mean, getting out here and getting to hang with these Special Olympians through the years. I mean, it is heartwarming and exciting, and just the competitive spirit that rolls out of these young men and women is just pretty fascinating to watch. And I'm a big believer in competition. It doesn't make any difference whether it's in our Special Olympians or whether it's in state competing against state. I talk to my governor counterparts across the country, and we're always talking about how we're going to whip each other, and whether it's creating jobs or whatever it might be, and it's that competitive spirit that really reveals some essential character of a state, of an individual. I can promise you, Brennan winning the gold medal in the 50 butterfly. I mean, this guy, he spent countless hours practicing in the pool, and I mean, he has a fire that burns in him that is powerful and palpable, and frankly, it's visible, that you see in him and his fellow Olympians. And there are some pretty tough competitors in that group. So I'm proud to be able to be their friend, to be their governor. You know, and win or lose, they inspire us. I mean, you cannot help but be engaged with young people like Brennan and not be inspired. Competition's good. It's good for the body. It's good for the mind. It's good for the spirit. And I want to say that Special Olympians all across this country, but particularly Texans, we're so proud of you. Thanks for what you do. Congratulate all of our Special Olympians and those law enforcement personnel who are here to support them. You represent what is really great and fine. You represent the best that Texas has to offer. God bless you. Okay, it's fine.